Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to take a look at how we can create a weekly calendar view in Powerapps. Now, there you have seen a lot of videos where we are creating a monthly calendar view where we are showing the detail. So this video is specifically about how we can create a Outlook or Teams like structure where user can see the time and their schedule for the day. So for the demonstration, I have taken the site inspection as an example because you see if there is some construction site or any site we can take where we have these multiple supervisors and there is one departmental head, let's say. So they want to track the schedule of the particular person. So for this case, I think this weekly calendar view and the concept will be a great fit. So here, as you can see in the left hand side, we have the name of the person. So these are all the supervisors I have taken. So there's a Ashley, there's a Christopher, and on the right hand side you can see the calendar view like this one. On the top hand, we have the current weeks, all the dates. So today is 12th of Jan. So I am showing all the dates of the current week starting from Monday and ends at Sunday. Now here you can see the start time I have taken as a 9 a.m. and the end time is 6 p.m. So it is completely customizable. If you want to make it start from the 7 a.m. or end at the 10 p.m. that you can do, that I will show you in this video how to do it. And here you can see we have these cards. So let's say Ashley has the site visit for the site A from 9 to 9:30 a.m. So it will take the complete box like this one. So 9 to 9:30, and similar way for other things as well. So here you can see in the card we are showing the start time and end time, also the name of the site. So this information also you can customize. Then you can see the different colors. So basically what I did is there are some status column I have taken in SharePoint list. The one is not started, in progress and completed. As you can see the labels at the bottom. So for the not started, I have took the gray so that if anyone viewing this calendar for the particular result, they can easily understand like what's the status of this site without going to the table view, or let's say like that. Okay. So the green one means these are already completed, orange means okay, these are in progress, and the gray one is they are not yet started. Also here I have taken one calendar control. So here you can see select any date. So let's say if I select 15, then it will display all the dates from for that week 13 to 19. So any date I can choose. Let's say I choose 18, then it will display from 13 to 19. If I go to home, this is not really a fancy design of the application. This is just for the demo purpose. In the homepage, I am just showing the site inspections. These are all data we are storing in a SharePoint list. When I click on new inspection, there is a form, SharePoint form I have used where we have all the columns from the SharePoint list, and these are just drop down controls where we can add the information. And once I click on schedule, then it will go into SharePoint list and display data like this one. Now I will show you what are the SharePoint lists associated with this application. The first one is the inspection site where I have only two columns. The first one is site name and another one is location. These are all text columns. The another column is supervisors list. So in the application, if you can see in the calendar view, we have all the supervisor name here. So this data I am getting from inspection supervisors list. We have the name, email and the phone number. All are the text column only. Then the third is inspection list. So this is the main list we are showing the data from. The first one is inspection name. Another column name is inspection site, which is lookup to the inspection site list. The another column is supervisor, which is lookup to the supervisor list. Then we have the inspection date column. This is the date picker control. Then inspection start date time, and there is an inspection end date time. These are all text column. And there are also additional column I have took inspection start time and end time. In these are both number column, because if we look at our application, so let's say if I select any person here, so for every time we are associating with a minute, and based on that minute number we are showing the height and we are showing this visibility where it should pop up, right? So these two columns are required: the inspection start time and inspection end time. These are in minutes. Then duration, that means the difference between the start and end time, so that is also a number column. And the last one is status. In the status, I have to catch completed, in progress, and not started. If I show you the list setting, if you want to build the exact replica of this app, I will show you the list setting where you can get the all the columns. So here we have all the columns. You can pause the video and take a look at them and build it on your site. Now let's get back to the application. So I will open this app. So here we have only 3 screens in the application. The first one is landing screen, where I am just taking a header. Then we have the table header and we have the gallery. I'm not using any filter or any kind of search or sorting functionality here. I'm just using the SharePoint list and just sorting it through the descending manner. Then there is one button called as new inspection, which is redirecting to the new inspection screen. So there is another screen called as new inspection. So if you take a look at it, this is just a SharePoint form I have taken, and these are all the columns. So for the inspection date, the default date is set to today's date. Inspection site, inspection name, I did not do anything here, but there is only one thing for the inspection start date time, end date time, and duration. These are all disabled field because we are using the start time and end time control here, right? So if you go in the start time, we are showing the time like this, and for the end time as well. So let's say if I select 9 a.m. and let's say if I select 10 a.m., you can see the data is automatically updated here based on that time, and the duration is automatically calculated. So we don't want user to change this, that's why I disabled it. Then there is a notes column where we can add additional notes. Now from where I am getting this time, so if you have worked with the Powerapps conference room booking app, then the exact same concept I have used here. So if I go to on start property of this application, so here you can see I have taken one collection where I am displaying the times like for the text and the minute from 9 a.m. to, if I go down to the 6 p.m. So this collection link or the text I will give in a video description as well, so that you can directly copy it. So this is just only one function I have used on start property, and this is the collection name called times, and this is the exact one I am using on the items property. So these are the drop downs for the start time and end time. Now if we take a look at this inspection start date time, so this is the function. So here I am just showing in a text value. So let's say we are displaying the data in a SharePoint list. If you want to use that exact data to show it somewhere, so I have used that additional column to display everything in a text manner, just so that user can directly go to the SharePoint list and read it, because by looking at the minutes they cannot understand what is the exact time. That's why I'm using the text column and displaying the complete time as well. Now I'll explain this formula to you. So what this formula does, we are adding the date add function. So this is the date we have selected, and in that date we are adding the times, right? So for the start time and end time as well. So there is a function that is called date add. Then the first parameter is what is the date, that is coming it from the inspection date control. Second parameter is cmb start time dot selected dot minutes. That means whatever the data or whatever the value we select in this drop down, we have two values here, right? The text and the minute. So we are adding the minute in that date, and we are just formatting it in the long date time. And this one is for the regional one. So let's say if you are building this for any different region, so let's say if you want application in French, let's say, then we have that option like French. So you can do it. If I select this one, it will display in a French language like this. But for now I will go with the default one. If you don't specify anything here, it will be in by default English only, but I always specify this just to not face any issue. Then similar way I have did it for the end time as well. So instead of adding the start minute, I am just adding the end time minutes. And for the duration, it's really simple. Whatever value I select in a end time and the start time, I'm just calculating their difference. And if I click on schedule button, I am not using any patch function here. I am just using submit form. But it is always recommended that you use patch function. But for this demo, as this was a really simple form, I use the submit form function. So now let's play the application. So if I go to home, so let's say I will click on new inspection for today's date. First, let me check if we have any inspection schedule for any user for today. So we'll check for Daniel. So Daniel don't have any inspection schedule for the week. So I will make one schedule for him for today's date. Inspection site will be site C, let's say. Inspection name I will be then supervisor I will put as a Daniel. Start time will be, let's say, 9:45 and end time will be 10:30. The inspection start date time and end time is automatically calculated. If I click on schedule, then here we have the inspection schedule for Daniel. If I click on calendar, if I click on Daniel, then we have the data here from 9:45 to 10:15. We have the information. So 9:45 to 10:30 we have the Daniel. We did not add any note here, that's why it's showing as a blank. And here we are showing the status. So if I click on the card, I can see the data. So if any field workers using their tablet or their mobile phone, they can easily check it. Instead of going to home page, they can just click on it and see the information here. Now there's one important thing. So I did not implemented any validation to check the conflicts. So let's say Daniel have the inspection schedule from 9:45 to 10:30, and if any supervisor assign Daniel another site for the selected date time for the same date time, let's say, then I did not added any calculation here. So it's completely user specific or use case specific step that you want to implement. So now let's take a look at how we can build this one. So what I will do, I will just create a new screen to show you from scratch. I will create a blank screen. I will name the screen as weekly calendar view. So the first thing here we need to add is our header. So I'll copy it from here. Now we want one gallery control to show all the information of the supervisors. So I'll click on insert. And here we have to search gallery. So it's a blank vertical gallery. And I will directly use the inspection supervisor list. I'm not using any collection to display the data. I will directly map it with the SharePoint list. So here I will select the title and subtitle to display name and email. So this is not a responsive application. That's why I'm not using any dynamic names like parent.width, parent.height. I'm directly doing this by manually only. Then here I don't want to show this scroll bar. I will just turn it off and I will show navigation. So if you are using this application tablet, so it looks more user friendly instead of that scroll bar. To make it differentiate from the another controls, I will just add a background color to this one. Here I don't want this rectangle, I will delete it. Also this rectangle I don't want. Now we have added this one. Now I can sort it using the name. So here we have the function called sort. Inspection supervisor list, we have to sort it by supervisor name and the order will be ascending. So it's sort from the A, B, C, D like that. Now I don't want any border. The next thing is we'll have to add a containers here to display the calendar control. So here you need to look it very carefully. First we are going to add one horizontal container. The reason is you see there are some time and the calendar view. So these both are different galleries actually. That's why we are using horizontal container for the time and the weekly calendars. So first I will add container, horizontal container. Let me just reduce the width of this one so that we can have a more space to work with. For this I will use the orange background color. I don't want any drop shadow, I don't want any border radius, so I'll make it 0. Now for the gallery I will use gallery supervisors. Okay, this one is already using in the another screen, so it will be gallery all supervisors. Now for the horizontal container I will name it as horizontal container main. I'm renaming the control as well, so if you are building this parallelly on your side, so you'll get an idea like what control is where I have placed. Then in that we have to take two containers. So first one will be for the time and the another one for the calendar view. So here I will put one container. So here in the horizontal container there is a normal container, so I will name it as container time. You cannot see because it is actually taken the full width, so I will make it as a different colors. And in that there is one another container for the calendar view and I will make it as a green. So the name of that container will be calendar, so container calendar. Now in the first one, in the time container, we are going to add the one gallery to display the time. So select the blank vertical gallery and select the collection call times that we have used in the app on start. So just select it. For the layout, I will go with custom one. So just click on this one, insert one text label, and here in the label we have to write this item dot text. So there are two properties, text and minutes. So we have to select text. Now I will do some UI changes. So I will remove the template padding I want the container width to be 100, let's say. So I don't want a flexible width. So make it 100. For the gallery, what I will do, I will width will be parent.width. So it will take the container width. And for the labels inside it, the width will be the same, parent.width. So it will be parent.template width. So whatever the width of the gallery is. I'll make the x-axis as 0, make it center line. And the height of this template will be, let's say 60 we can take. So click on the gallery, go to template size, here put 60. Now select label and the Y property will be 0. So it will appear at top. Now we want this, we don't want this gallery to be scrollable. So what we need to do, just select the gallery, go to its height property and just write as a parent.height. So it will take the complete height of that container. But here you can see the scroll bar is still appearing like this one. But what we want only one scroll bar, and when we scroll on it, it will scroll this gallery as well and this calendar as well. So select the container time, go to its height, and let's specify the height as 2500, let's say. But now you can see the scroll bar is not appearing. The reason is we did not enable the property called workflow overflow of the container. So here select this one, the vertical overflow should be scroll. Now you can see this scroll bar is appearing. And for the calendar container as well, make the height as parent.height. I think this is not working. Okay, this will not work. I need to select the height of the container. So whatever the height of this time container will be, the same height we are going to use in a calendar, because if we scroll, we don't want it to mismatch with the time. Right. Now we need to take one gallery inside this. So it will be a vertical gallery. So select the container calendar. Inside that, take one blank vertical gallery. And here we are using some formulas to display the data. But before that, if you look at this gallery, we have total 7 number of columns, right? So how we can achieve that? Using the wrap property. So select I will rename it as gallery calendar. And the first gallery will be gallery times. So here, make the width as parent.width and make the height as parent.height. Remove the template padding. And here the wrap count will be 7. So it will display 7 column. Currently it's not showing anything because we don't have any data to display. Now here on visible of the screen, we have to add some formula, because whenever user land on the screen, it will calculate the today's date. So based on our system time. So based on today's date, it's going to calculate all the week dates of that particular date. So today is 12th of Jan. So starting from Monday, that is 6th Jan to 12th Jan, the complete week dates it is showing. So for that we need to use some Powerapps formulas. So here, go to the weekly calendar view, go to it's on a visible screen. Now here we need to add some variable. So the first one will be set where current date will be today. Now we need to add two more variables that will be for the week start and another will be for the weekend. So for this I have already written the formulas, so I will just copy it from there. So here we have the start of the week. So here what we are doing, we are just adding the date, we are using date add function to add whatever the weekday of that current date is, and we are adding this in the time unit dot dates because we need to add a number of dates. And for the weekend as well, what we are doing, we are using another formula. So I will replace it where end of week. So whatever the week start is, we need to add the 6 days, right? So there are total 7 number of days in a week, right? That's why we are adding 6 by considering this as a default. Then what I will do, currently we don't have any data there, so I will took some label just for our testing purpose. So the first variable will have the var current date. So let me go to another screen and come back so that we can trigger the onVisible. So here we have the end of the week. The second variable we have current date, that is 12th, and start will be 6th. So the first is end of week, that is 12th, today's date is 12th, that is current date, and the last one will be 6. So this is working correctly. Now what we are going to do, so based on that data we got, we want to build a collection so that we can display the data for all the weekdays. So go to onVisible. So currently we have the number 7, right? So 7 days. So what we are doing, we will build one collection out of those. So here we have clear collect function. So for each week dates, what we are doing, whatever the start of the week is, we are just adding one number. So first one will be blank. For second one we are adding 1 day, third one we will add 2, 3, 4 up to 6. So this is how we are building all the columns we have it here. So the only thing I need to change is here start of the week variable. Now this is the final function. You can pause the video or you can write it down directly from here. Now let's trigger the onVisible once again. Now let's check if we got any data in the collection. So here we have the call week dates. So here you can see we have 7 days starting from 6, 7, 8 up to 12. So select the gallery called gallery calendar. Here we need to put that name, call week dates. Now select this, insert one label. So as you can see we have the dates appearing here. I will just do some UI modifications. I will just take the width as let's say 145, just so that we can have some white space on the right side. and we can differentiate two dates. The first one, we took one label. Now for each of the dates and for each of the column, we are going to add one gallery control. So select the first one, let's say, and here what you need to do, you need to make this gallery as the complete height similar to our container. So select the gallery, go to its heights property, and we are already set a parent dot height, so that should be fine. Now insert one another gallery, that will be blank vertical gallery inside one gallery calendar. So now we are utilizing a sequence function here because we already have the start time and end time that we specify in the app on start. So if we take a look at here, we have the start time from the 5:40 and the end time will be 10:80. So we are calculating and we are keeping all the dates in the blocks like this way. So we have boxes like this one. So for these we need to use the sequence function. So select the gallery. So there's one formula called sequence, so I will directly use it here. Now if you don't know what sequence function is, so what it will do, so let's say in the sequence function we need to specify the, let's say, start, then we need to add the start, so that will be 5:40 and the step will be, I have put 15 here. The reason why I put 15 I will explain you. So you see the value starting from the 5:40, then 5:55, 5:70. So these are the values. If you look at our times collection, you see minutes starting from 5:40, 5:55. That's why we put that. Now select the gallery. So I will rename it as gallery inside calendar. I will change the color of it to something yellow, let's say. So for this gallery as well, you need to put the height exactly same as parent dot height, and you need to just give it some space from the top. So let's say I will select the inside gallery and make the y as, let's say, 40 or 45 just to match it with the 9 a.m. Okay, and select the label from the gallery times and make it as a vertical alignment at the top. Now select the gallery inside calendar and the height will be parent dot height, and you can just turn it off the scroll bar. Now we need to add one label just so that we can display the information. So I will add one label. Now what information we are going to display? Let's say in the inspection list we are just showing the, let's say, site name we will show. Supervisor name we are not going to show because whatever the name we select here, data is going to filter accordingly. So we'll just display the start time and end time and the site name. So now here we are going to use the lookup function. So what I will do, I will just select this label. Now you want to make the height completely customized, right? So based on whatever the time is, so let's say there's a time from 9 a.m. to 11, so it took this much height. For 9 to 9:15 this took this much height. So this is completely dynamic. So what you need to do, you need to click on it, and here what we are going to do, to make changes in the height based on whatever the information we selected from the supervisor. based on their start and end time, we are going to make that height dynamic. Before that, we need to create a collection. So let's say if I select any supervisor from here, we are fetching the data from the inspection list and showing it here. So select the supervisors gallery, and on select of it, I'm going to build one collection. So clear collect, the collection name will be supervisor schedule. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply one filter from the inspection list directly, where supervisor dot value, that is supervisor name, equal to this item dot supervisor name. Now I'll select Ashley. Let's check the collection. So here we got the record of Ashley. Now we are using this collection to show the data in this gallery. So select the gallery calendar, go to display, and we need to change the template height of it. So make it 60. So this is the same height of the gallery times as well. So now here, click on the height. Select the label. I will just label inspection info. Now select the label, select the height property. Here what we are going to do, we are going to use a lookup to the inspection supervisor collection. So here what we are going to do, inspection start time and end time. So these information we are storing as a minute. So based on that, we are manually or dynamically adjusting the height. So here you need to put inspection start time. So inspection start time is our number column. We have another column as start date time, that is a text column, but we are utilizing the start time one. Then here we need to put as inspection start time at this item dot value. So earlier you see there are lots of number, right? So those are the this item dot value. So what we are doing is we need to check for the start time match with the current value, and the date as well we need to match. So the date column we have in SharePoint is inspection date, and whatever date we want to match is this one. So the current column date only. So I will also use this LBL week date. So edit it, and here we cannot directly write text, so I am converting it to date value. And then what we are going to do, this, okay, after we got the data, then here we are going to check for the complete duration. So what I will do, I will just use some colors so that you can see. Now as you can see, we have the durations because we need to adjust the height dynamically, right? So here, as I told you earlier, if I go to gallery inside calendar, go to its item property, here I have taken 15. So the reason is you can adjust the height of this, because what is the difference in between these. So what I took it, the height is 60, template size is 60, and the difference I'm going to calculate by multiply by 4, because here I took this step as 15. So 15 into 4, that is 60. That's why I'm going to use the duration into 4 and make the y at 0, let's say. Now as you can see, we have the perfect calendar view like this one, where we are showing the schedule. The only thing we need to make the UI adjustment. So if I take a look at the original application I have developed, so let's match it. So let's say we have the 9 to 9:30, then we have 10:30, 10 to 10:30. So here we have the data like this one. So this, I think we almost achieved the same kind of functionality. The only change we need to do is change the text of it. So here I will use the white color so that you can see. And then the same thing we are going to do. If I select text, and then here we need to use the same formula. So what I'll do, I will just copy it from the existing app, and here we have the time value. So the exact same thing I am going to use. The lookup we are using, we are calculating inspection start time and the inspection date. And the first I will return the inspection start date time, second I will return end date time, and the inspection site name. If you want to show the status as well, you can do it from here. The data is not appearing, that's because the collection is different. I use another screen, right? So the collection name is different for it. So for this one, now if I check this, save the app, let me check why the data is not properly coming. Okay, I think that is because of this one. So here I need to put label week date dot text, and then we have the start time and end time. Okay, so here, and let's say here. So here we have all the dates, so you can change the UI according to your need. I'm just going to make it as 10 so that we can see it. And now what I did is I used the yellow color for this one, so I will make it as transparent. For the gallery calendar as well, I have used one color, so I'll make it transparent. Now we have completed this one. The only thing you can see, we have these rectangles differentiating times. So how we can add that? So select the gallery times, and here you can add directly rectangle, insert one rectangle. Now make the height as 1 only. Y will be, we need to completely bottom. So here I will select, let's say, red color. I will choose the color of this one as well, let's say purple or something like this. Okay, now select the gallery inside calendar as well, and here also we are going to add those rectangle so that we'll get the complete line differentiating each time. So let's click on the gallery inside calendar, insert. Okay, I will just copy this one and go here. So here what I will do, okay, they did not get copied in the gallery. I need to make it manually only. So here make the height as 1, color will be red and it will be here. Okay, I think it matches. The only thing is you need to just turn click on the right click on it and make it align at the front. So the gallery inside will be at front. Okay, there's one thing why it's not okay. Okay. It did not get copied in that gallery. I'm not sure why it's not allowing me to do it, because in the earlier app I have saved it. But yes, you need to add this rectangle in this inside gallery, not the gallery calendar. So let me try it again. I will choose this gallery, insert rectangle. Okay, it's not allowing me to do, but yes, you have to do it in the gallery inside calendar. So I will share this application file with you, so no issues. You can just take a reference from it. So I will save the application. So I hope you get the idea like how we can build the weekly calendar view instead of monthly calendar view like this one. Also, there's one more thing I have talked to you in the earlier. So if you want to change the time as well, so starting from let's say 7 a.m. So how we can do that? Just go to the app on start property. Now this array you need to copy it from the room booking application. Okay, let me open that as well, because I have already made the video of it earlier. So I will tell you from where you can copy that collection, but make sure you don't modify this minute because it's already predefined. If you make any changes, it won't work it for you. So here I have that room booking, and let me check this one. So this was the room booking app. If you go on the on start property, you will get that complete array from starting from 12 a.m. So let's say I want to start that from the 7 a.m. So what I will do, I will just copy this from 7 to 8:30. I'll copy it here. Go to our app and just paste it. So if I go to calendar, let's say, okay, this is not the app. This is the screen. Now you see it's starting from 9 a.m. But let's say if I trigger the app on start, so it goes from 7 a.m. So this is how you can change it. But you notice this change only here. It does not change anything here, right? So what you need to do, select the gallery inside calendar, and I think the 5:40 was the starting point, but the 7 a.m. will have the 4:50. Sorry, the 4:20. So you just have to modify this. Let me check if you can do anything, something like 37 we already have. We added 3 or 4 more times. So let me check 37 and 40, let's say. Okay, let's check this 41 if it's doing something. So I'll have to check it like by changing the values. Let me save it and refresh it once. And the height is, I think this is the same height. Okay, so I'll have to change it here. So let me put some values because it's not getting updated. Okay, Now for the 50 it took, so 9 a.m. So let me try with 55. It taking a lot of time to reflect. So I hope you get that idea, like you want to change this one according to, if you add any times you have to change this value to match it perfectly. The second parameter will be start time in a minute. So whatever, let's say you start from 4:30, then you'll have to put 270. You don't have to worry about the end time because it's going to automatically update it. So this is how you can play with the time as well. So if you have any doubts or any concern at any point, you can just let me know in comments. So I will check it and reply to you. And also I will share the link to this exact application where you can just import it in your Power Apps. And I'm going to also share you the list structure as well, so that if you want to try it out on your end, you can do it. This is just a SharePoint list I have taken. You can use any dataverse table where you can implement the same kind of architecture of the columns, and you can easily achieve that functionality.